Just a casual intro video while Rachel swears we can share a two-person hammock.
We're two people.
Hi guys.
Hey.
Gretchen.
Rachel.
I hope you are ready to come along with us and see if it is possible to not run the Disney Princess 10K or how fast you actually have to go, because a lot of people have asked me that. So I'm here in Disney World and it's also Rachel's 40th birthday, so bonus. And we're gonna find out the answers for you in real time. Little intimidated, a little worried. Are you worried on anything?
Nope. The only running we're going to be doing is across the finish line, so it looks like we did something active.
Highly recommend that part. Pictures are always important. And now let's do the race expo. Let's see what it's like. We are here at the expo, and I will say, if you think you'll get lost, you will not. There are signs everywhere. There are bus signs everywhere, and just remember, it's the non-Disney buses. They contract out. Someone lovely guy at Bell Services, Matt, told us. They contract out the company to run the buses for this. So don't be looking for Disney buses. They'll be different. Ours was plain gray, and so we stuck our heads in and said Expo, and he said Expo, and we hopped on in. We picked up our bibs, and now we are at the Expo by this crazy display. Check this out. Isn't that fun? Stuff everywhere. We got some stickers, and we're going to pick up our race shirts. But this is absolutely fun. I'm kind of obsessed with this little thing happening right here. It's like a castle you can walk into. I don't know that I really am into what's inside it. It's just not my thing, but I'll take the display. Not home necessarily, because I don't have my suitcase, but really cool. You're now testing the amount of time you can spend at one booth. Is it blue or is it black? That's
let the internet decide.
It's sparkly black for sure. So we do need to talk for a second about all the cool photo ops they have when you come in that you can take yourself. The expo's behind us. And then also, if you can see over here, let me walk over a little bit, there's a carriage with some footmen that has photo pass. So can you see the actual glass slipper? That is the cutest thing ever. The night before the race, everything is laid out. Any guesses on what princess I am theming my run after? Our bus departs at the latest at 4 a.m. in the morning. So real talk, 4 a.m. might be a game changer, but here's a little bit of what we did. So we scheduled really, really early flights out today. We're gonna pretend like that was on purpose. It wasn't at the time, but it has worked for us really good. I think we do it this way again. So we scheduled really, really early flights out this morning. So we pretty much had to be up at 4 a.m. this morning to get to the airport. And now we are pretty tired, and we're gonna make ourselves stay for a little bit longer, but I feel like we've just flown overseas or something, because we're doing this, forcing ourselves to stay up so that we actually make the time for the bus tomorrow morning and feel somewhat alert. So that is working for us so far. But it's the night before and we're tired. So, which is a good sign, which means we might get enough sleep, but we'll let you know in the morning how it feels to make sure we're on our bus no later than 4 a.m. Let's see how it goes. Okay, it's 3:15 in the morning. I am already dressed and Rachel's already dressed. We have a couple things left to do before we go, and I will tell you this, it feels early. My body did not want to wake up. Not to mention when I look at my watch, there's still a reminder that I am in a different time zone, so it's technically an hour earlier in Central where I live. So maybe make sure you don't get reminded of that at all. But we're up and we turned a bunch of lights on, and hopefully we'll stay wide awake until it's time to run. We're off to go. I will say we're bringing a little bit of different things. I have a little fanny pack that has my bar in it for when I finally decide I'm gonna eat that, and my phone, and my headphones, and my inhaler. And then she's also bringing, good morning. What are you bringing differently? Not an inhaler, but she's bringing a little water. Show them the water bottle too.
So cute.
So it's like a tiny running water bottle. It's not something big and bulky.
So they do have water along the course if you don't want to. Like, I'm not bringing it. I might regret it. We'll let you know if I do. But yeah.
And headphones.
And headphones. Yeah, on the rules, I will say, they say they don't recommend headphones, but it's going to be a long wait until we start, and we have to ride a bus and
all the things.
And honestly, if it gets boring on the run, like if there's a stretch with not much going on, I'm going to probably pop an earbud in or two.
I'll probably have one in.
Yeah.
One earbud in the whole time.
Let you hear what's going on. They just want you to be aware of what's going on and hear announcements, understandably. But all right, next stop, the start line.
To say that if you follow the signs and you look for places to go, it is such a well-run thing. That was part of my fear coming into this is, wow, this is a huge race. Am I going to get lost? You won't. And if you do, all you have to do is ask the cast member. Very, very friendly. But we're here now, and we're going to check out the situation at the start line so you don't have to.
It's Epcot, and we're walking to our corral. So let's talk for a second about corrals, because I feel like if you haven't done a race with corrals before, you don't know what I'm talking about. So on your bib, there's a number, letter. It's a letter. Mine's a D, and that's where all of your runners are going to be with you. So you'll get with everyone at the D location. And what do we put in as our time?
Whatever we felt like.
It was like a 2 hour or something, right?
2 hour, yeah.
I think, yeah, we picked something kind of low because we're not really sure how fast we're gonna walk this, but we put in about 2 hours, which is a good kind of catch-all. The worst thing you can do when they ask about your time is like lie about a faster time, because you're gonna make everyone in your corral really frustrated because they're basing that off of what time you said you were gonna finish. So just a little tidbit and a tip, be honest, and then get to the corral with your people.
Getting ready to start, and it's right at 6 o'clock Central.
Make sure you're ready to be very.
She found the fairies. She found them. Thank you. All right. Walker views. So we came around this ramp and we saw plenty of people still walking. So awesome. So supportive. So that's right around mile 3. And look who's at mile 4. It's you. Pocahontas, hi! Hollywood Studios.
Make it blue. Make it blue.
Woo!
What color the medal is?
It's Elsa and Anna. Wait, but we're still sticking it out.
Yeah. Oh.
So we stopped for a princess. Kind of a long line since Aurora, and they told us the balloons are in 2 minutes. Balloons came. Now we're just in front of the balloons and everything's fine. We're walking how we were. So balloons are not deaf. So see, we have the balloon people are friendly too. They're friendly.
Woo! Finish! They are crossing that finish line in style. We did it, and we got it. This year's medal. I can't tap it.
Back on the bus. Snacks in hand. Show them what you got. Good. This is after the finish line. They had some snacks. We got medals, and then we got hummus. Cheddar.
Cheese, and it's
I'm just yelling things.
always a topic of discussion. Some sunflower seeds, some
trail mix.
Yeah, I'm good.
Honey waffle. Okay, I'm all about that. Right?
Ooh, olive oil and sea salt pretzels.
So we got our treats, and now we're headed back to the hotel. And we'll probably do an update. We don't really know when, because we learned a lot. We had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
We'll do an update after we take our shoes off.
Yeah, shoes have to come off. We did meet and greet with, we scheduled a meet and greet with the balloon ladies. Yeah. It was super fun. So, okay, we are back from the race, and overall it was a super fun race. I would highly recommend it. However, I do have a couple tips maybe some do's and some don'ts and some things to think about if you're going to attempt to walk the Disney Princess 10K. So again, we're specifically talking about the 10K, not the 5K, which is a little bit less, or the half marathon, which is a little bit more, really a lot less, a lot more. But this is for the 10K. So number one is going to be that pace. So this is the whole point of the video, is like, can you do it? Well, I'll be honest, we actually got caught by the balloon ladies. And if you don't remember me saying before, or if I haven't said yet, the balloon ladies are the pace setters. So they're the ones at the very back, and they're holding a 16-minute mile pace. There's a couple reasons we got caught by them, and we definitely didn't get swept from the course. We saw them. I actually talked to them because I wanted you guys to see how friendly they are. And then we kept moving and got right pretty far ahead of them in order to finish the race. But here's a couple reasons why we got caught. Number one, we started pretty much at the back of the race. So we were the second to last wave to finish. So even in your corral, they're going to start it wave by wave by wave by wave. And yes, it does take forever. We'll get to that. But they'll start it wave by wave, and we were the next to the last wave. So that means anything that we did and stopped would be slowing down our pace. And our kind of natural walking pace where we were was about a 15-minute mile. So we were a little bit ahead of that 16-minute mile, but like I slowed down, and of course the other one slowed down with, like we slowed down together, Rachel and I. I slowed down one time. I was booking my lightning lane and like buying 2 other lightning lanes. So I slowed down for a big chunk of time trying to get those. That was important to me because we are going to the parks today. And then another time, and this was our heaviest hitter for why this happened, we stopped to take a picture with Aurora, who is one of the big Disney princesses, and her line, we probably waited about 5 minutes to take a picture. So that really killed our pace a lot. Well, as we get back onto the course from meeting Aurora, then this, bicycle guy comes by who was not as nice as the balloon ladies. And he's like, "You're about to get swept from the course. Better hurry up. And swept from the course meaning they'll pull you to the side and they'll have to drive you to the front in a shuttle. Well, at this point we're in Epcot, so I don't really know if people are really going to get swept from the course. He was just trying to scare people. But it wasn't a very, that was the least Disney moment, I will say. Everything else was very magical. Lots of princesses, lots of dancing. So another way to avoid getting caught by the balloon ladies, if you are kind of a slower walker, like you're really nailing that 16-minute mile pace, but have a hard time getting less, start toward the front of your corral. Pros and cons here. The pro of starting to the front is by the time all those waves go, you're gonna buy yourself like 6 or 7 minutes, if not more, probably more like 10 or 20 minutes ahead of the balloon ladies. So you will probably never ever see them. However, this is also where the people who are still running, like wanting to get a good time, there's probably still gonna be one of those people in that front of the Corral D. So can you go to the front of the corral and not be a fast runner? Absolutely. What you need to do is go far to the right, all the way to the right, and walk together in a single file line. That's so important. There's a couple places in the course where it gets pretty narrow and you're gonna wanna follow the same advice, but there's gonna be runners trying to come like beside you, and you cannot walk even 2 across, which they always say the max to walk together is 2. You can't walk like 4 or 5 across. So if you have a group, put everybody in a single file line and walk that way. And that will absolutely give you a little bit more advantage time, maybe even enough time to stop and take pictures with the princess. Or you can do like I did to most of them and just take like drive-by pictures of the princesses as we go. Hello, good morning. So that's kind of my biggest tidbit, I guess, about this, is make sure if you're gonna walk it that you're pacing yourself, making sure you're keeping about 16-minute miles. If you're way below that, I probably wouldn't do it. It might be frustrating. You can maybe get away with the 5K. So let's say if you can keep it for about 3 miles, but 6 is gonna be a little bit much, try for the 5K first, and then do the 10K next. And the final thing that I want to say is make sure you are very, very, very patient. You know that you might not be crossing that start line until 6 o'clock in the morning, because that's what happened to us. So there's your hints, your tidbits. I would absolutely love to know if you're going to try to walk it. Let me know below. Maybe we could start like a Disney Walkers Club. Walk Disney. But anyway, we're off to parks. We're gonna have a wonderful day in the Disney parks, and I hope you have a wonderful day and really consider training for a competitive walk. That would be really fun. Okay, we are coming back from the pool where we soaked our feet after a long day at the park and ran into some other people who did races. And I have a couple updates. So number one is, I don't know where I got this 2-hour number. I totally lied. You submit your mile time. And so for a walker, it would probably be, you'd probably submit closer to 15, just so you make sure that you're in the race and they're not like, oh, 16-minute miles, can't do it, which I don't think they'd say, but just FYI. Again, you'll still be in Corral D. Everything that I said applies, but we're not really sure how the corral system works. Most races, it works where your time, faster times are in A, a little bit slower in B. So we don't know if just people kind of fudge their time a little bit more in this race or what, because we did the same pace as a girl we met who was in Corral B. So take that for what it's worth and just know that strange things might happen.